Now, Rwanda hopes to become the regional financial services hub by the year 2020. One Mauritian business management consultancy firm, JurisTax, hopes to help the country take a step closer to this goal. And joining us to discuss this is JurisTax CEO Nishi Kichenin. A very good morning, Kichenin, and thank you for joining us. Now, meanwhile, we've been definitely talking how Rwanda is moving closer to this goal they have set by 2020. But now when we look at Mauritius and Rwanda, they have mostly the same growth variables, and the countries are the sizes are similarly close, and they're considered safe havens. Now, what made you or JurisTax consider even moving into Rwanda, expanding into the market?
Good morning, Michael. In fact, we decided to leave the European market and penetrate the African market. The first step was to enter the South African market. I can say that we did very well on that market. We are considered to be among the top 3 on the South African market. We entered other African jurisdictions, and now when we started looking at the ranking of Rwanda globally, let me take, for example, the ease of doing business in Rwanda, we can see that Rwanda is faring quite well, very well indeed, second just after Mauritius in the Saharan region. Which means that
now, Nishi, definitely we're looking at you coming into
to become a financial hub by making it easy. Sorry?
Sorry now, but what's your strategy on entering the market despite the existing, yes, definitely, that's what I'm doing right now. Now, what's your strategy into moving in a market where we're seeing major players like PricewaterhouseCoopers, we're looking at KPMG, Deloitte, Ernst & Young, to mention but a few. So what's your strategy into moving into Rwanda?
Okay, to be able to answer your question, I will need to tell you who we are exactly in Mauritius and what do we do in other regions. JurisTax started as a management company. Now, what is a management company? It is a firm offering structuring, administration, accounting, financial, tax services to investors or other entities established under the laws of Mauritius. From there on, we decided to expand our scope of services from structuring, administration and accounting to fund and asset management, to family offices, to fintech services, which means that we have a wide array of services, a full platform that we offer to our clients. Now, when we talk about PwC, EY, KPMG, etc., they are mainly accounting firms. They are doing very well, but when we enter a jurisdiction, we enter with a full-fledged array of services. And this is the distinction between what the existing firm in Rwanda are offering and what we intend to bring in Rwanda.
Now, just tell me about, we did see on most of the indices, Mauritius is ranking as #1, and this is very interesting now that we're looking at some Mauritian firms coming into the country. So tell me about the kind of expertise that you hope to replicate here in the Rwandan market that you've seen working in Mauritius and globally. What are these that we're looking at?
Okay. Upon our visit in Rwanda, we have been very much welcomed. The first thing that we do when we enter a jurisdiction is to see whether we are welcome or not, or whether we'll face obstacles, which means that we've met government officials, we've met also private sector officers. And from both sides, we have seen that regarding the setting up of a company in Rwanda, it's very simple, more simple than in Mauritius itself. 6 hours, and that's very good. However, from there on, running that company in an efficient and cost-effective manner, managing the entities in according to an international standard, that's a completely different matter. This is what we want to bring. Proper corporate administration by chartered administrators, proper corporate management by proper corporate managers. Apart from that, we have qualified fund managers plus asset managers in Mauritius. This is one of the expertise that we want to bring in Rwanda. If we want to develop Rwanda as a financial hub, this is one of the most important aspects that we will have to look at, investment management. Of course, the other services that will follow will be fintech, which is one important aspect for us. These are the three main sectors that we would like to develop to start with in Rwanda.
All right, Nishi, now we did look back a little bit on what Mauritius has been like. Now, in the 70s, almost 60% of the contribution to the GDP came from the agriculture sector, with sugarcane taking the lead. Now, but today, 50 years down the road, we're looking at a 4% contribution from agriculture, and financial sector taking up to like 12%. So one of your main goals moving into Rwanda is to help the country move closer to achieving the goal of becoming a financial hub in the east of the continent. So how do you actually what does a country like Rwanda learn from what you've already done in Mauritius, and how do you help this dream become a reality?
When we are talking about creating a financial hub, going and implant ourselves in a jurisdiction, the first thing that is important to us is how can we serve that population and at the same time develop. When looking at the professionals working in the corporate sector in Rwanda, being accountants or chartered administrators, we can see that we do not have a whole pool of human resource. The first step for us, once we have finished examining the feasibility of entering that jurisdiction, is to see how we can develop professionals, how we can form these people to work together with us to develop the sector. Which means that one of our goals is really to bring that educating the professional who want to work in the financial hub of Rwanda. This is our starting point for us. Once your people, the Rwandan, are formed to work in that sector, the second thing to do is to create that demand. You see, for instance, if you have put in place an entity, a company, but you don't know that there is a firm that can offer services that will let you concentrate on your core business, be it mining, agriculture, or any other field that the investor has decided to work on. And there is a company that will take care of all the aspects surrounding that entity. There will be no demand. Therefore, the second thing, once the people have been formed, or otherwise parallel to it, is to create that demand, to create the need for the use of corporate services, accounting, taxation services, etc. From a Mauritian perspective, this is exactly what we've done. We have formed our people, and secondly, or next to it, we have created the need to use corporate services. This has always been a starting point everywhere. Plus, of course, we need to see the legislation. Does the existing legal framework permit investors to penetrate or pass through the jurisdiction to invest in neighboring African countries or worldwide. For the moment, on our side, JurisTax side, we are still looking at the various legislations available. For example, when we are talking about a financial hub, it also means international bank coming to Rwanda to implant themselves there. We are presently looking at whether the existing banking laws will allow international banks to come and set up a business in Rwanda. There are various aspects, but the legal framework, human resource, plus the demand for such type of work are the three main ingredients, if you want, to start building up the financial hub in Rwanda.
All right, now, Nishi, just allow me to ask you one last question, and this could maybe have a shorter answer. Now, you're moving from an island state that is Mauritius to a landlocked country here in Rwanda. Does that have any effect on your business or its perception?
It depends on what you want to develop. For instance, if it was for the development of Freeport, I would have told you straight away, no, don't go into this. But here as we see Rwanda, it is surrounded by other countries, which means that these other countries can use Rwanda as a financial hub, depending, of course, on the advantages that will be offered by Rwanda to neighboring investors or worldwide investors. Being landlocked or not is definitely not an issue, because the type of services that the country can offer as a financial hub will not be linked to whether it is landlocked or not. On the contrary, as it is surrounded, this means that other countries can use the country as a financial hub, of course.